There's a moment we've all felt. When someone talks down to you, cuts you off, mocks you, or treats your presence like it's disposable. You feel that sharp sting in your chest, that instant urge to defend yourself, to prove your worth, to fire back with something just as sharp. But here's the truth no one tells you. Reacting is exactly what they want. Your anger feeds them, your explanations empower them, your words give them space to twist the narrative. But silence? Silence does something they never expect. It makes them confront themselves. It exposes their insecurity. It forces them to sit with the weight of their own disrespect. And that's where Stoic power lives. Not in shouting, not in arguing, but in controlled restraint, in the ability to stay calm when someone else loses control. Today, you'll learn 5 silent moves that flip the entire dynamic. Moves that make anyone who disrespected you regret they ever tried. Silent move. 1. The stillness stare. There is a kind of silence that cuts deeper than any argument. A silence so steady, so controlled, that it disrupts the entire emotional balance of the person who tried to disrespect you. This is the stillness stare. A moment where you don't react, don't flinch, don't rush to defend yourself. You simply hold your ground with a calm, unbroken presence. Why does this work? Because the person who disrespects you is counting on one thing: your reaction. They want the spark, the rise, the defensiveness, the comeback. They want you to play the emotional game they set up. When you don't, the whole script collapses. Suddenly, they become the one who looks exposed, childish, and insecure. And without raising your voice or saying a single word, the power shifts entirely into your hands. Imagine you're in a meeting. Someone interrupts you, talking over you like your opinion is irrelevant. Most people would jump in, rush their words, fight for space. But instead, you pause. You turn your head. You look directly at them, not with anger, not with sarcasm, but with a calm, unwavering stare. 3 seconds, 4, 5. The room shifts. People feel it. Even the person who interrupted you feels the weight of what they just did. This is not about intimidation. It's about self-respect expressed through stillness. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." In this case, your stillness is proof that you are nothing like the person trying to provoke you. You are composed, you are grounded, you are in control of your inner world. The stillness stare works because attention is a mirror. When you meet someone's disrespect with composed eye contact, you're holding up that mirror and making them see exactly what they're doing. Most people aren't ready to look at themselves that way. Think of arguments you've seen. Family, work, relationships. Notice how the person who stays calm always ends up looking stronger, more mature, and more in control. Chaos makes noise, but confidence is quiet. And when you embrace this kind of quiet, you're no longer participating in the drama. They're performing alone. And nothing feels more embarrassing than being the only person acting out while the other stands still and unmoved. But this silent move isn't just for public situations. It applies in private moments too. When someone asks a disrespectful question, makes a snide remark, or tries to belittle you, pause. Don't rush. Don't fill the silence. Let the weight of the moment rest on them. People reveal themselves very quickly when you give them silence instead of explanations. They'll fidget. They'll look away. They'll rephrase their comment. They may even apologize. Not because you demanded respect with force, but because you projected self-respect without a single spoken word. To master this silent move, you need to train 3 things: posture, breath, and presence. Posture. Stand or sit upright, shoulders open, neck neutral. Do not tilt your head or shrink your body. Your posture is the physical expression of your boundaries. Breath. Before reacting, Inhale slowly through the nose. A deep breath signals to your nervous system that you're safe, calm, and in control. It stops impulsive reactions before they start. Presence. Keep your attention forward, your expression neutral, and your gaze steady. Not glaring, not challenging, simply present. Presence is power. It communicates, I am here, I see what you did, and I am not shaken. Used consistently, the stillness stare reshapes the way people treat you. Those who rely on manipulation, sarcasm, or subtle disrespect will grow uncomfortable around your calm strength. They can't feed off your reactions anymore. Meanwhile, those who respect you will feel safe, grounded, and drawn to your quiet confidence. This is the heart of Stoic power, to show strength without shouting, dignity without explanation, and boundaries without aggression. When someone disrespects you and you answer only with steady presence, they're forced to confront a truth they didn't expect, that their behavior says more about them than it ever will about you. And the beauty of this silent move, you never have to raise your voice, defend your worth, or fight to be seen. You let your calmness become the statement. You let your presence become the boundary, and you let their discomfort become the lesson. Because in the end, stillness is not emptiness. It's mastery, it's self-command, and when used at the right moment, it's the loudest message you'll ever send. Silent move. 2. Say nothing. Let the empty space speak. There is a moment, right after someone disrespects you, where the entire world seems to wait for your reaction. They expect a rebuttal, an explanation, a sarcastic comeback, a defensive speech. They want noise, because noise means you're emotionally hooked. And once you're hooked, they control the interaction. But when you choose to say nothing, when you allow silence to stretch just long enough to become uncomfortable, you reclaim that control instantly. Silence is not passive. It is not a weakness. It is not surrender. It is a deliberate refusal to participate in someone else's emotional chaos. Most people underestimate the power of an unspoken response, but anyone who has ever been on the receiving end of it knows exactly how powerful it feels. Silence forces reflection. Silence forces awareness. Silence forces the other person to face their own words without the shield of your reaction. Think of a moment when someone made a passive-aggressive comment toward you in a group. Maybe it was a coworker, a friend, or even a family member. Someone testing you with a subtle insult disguised as humor. They drop the comment, people glance around, and all eyes turn to you, waiting for your reaction. If you get defensive, they win. If you snap back, you feed their ego. If you argue, you look emotional. But if you stay silent, calm, steady, unbothered, the atmosphere shifts instantly. They feel the heat of their own words. They realize the spotlight is on them, not you. Their joke didn't land. Their attempt to embarrass you backfired. Suddenly, they're the one who feels awkward, exposed, and out of line. Your silence becomes the mirror they don't want to look into. This is the essence of Stoic control. Not suppressing emotion, but mastering your response so completely that no one can provoke you into becoming a version of yourself you're not proud of. Epictetus taught that what harms us is not what others say, but the meaning we attach to it. By staying silent, you detach the meaning, remove the fuel, and let their words fall flat on the floor. But this silent move goes even deeper. Silence reveals intention. People with good intentions don't feel comfortable when you go silent. They feel concerned. They ask if something they said came off wrong. They clarify because they don't want to hurt you. But people with bad intentions, they get irritated. They get restless. They push harder. Silence exposes who is on your side and who never was. Picture a romantic relationship argument. One partner mocks the other, waiting for a dramatic reaction, but instead of yelling, you stay silent. Not the cold, punishing kind of silence that creates distance, but the grounded kind that says, "I'm not participating in this energy." That silence forces the other person to sit with their own behavior. It's a wake-up call far more powerful than shouting. Or think of a negotiation. Someone gives you a lowball offer, expecting you to justify your value. But instead of defending yourself, you stay quiet. That silence pressures them to reconsider. They start doubting their own offer. They raise it, not because you demanded it, but because you didn't. Silence made them rethink their approach. To master this silent move, you need to strengthen 3 internal muscles: discipline, control, and emotional neutrality. Discipline means resisting the urge to fill awkward space. Humans hate silence. They scramble to fill it. When you don't, you gain leverage. Control means not letting your face reveal irritation. A silent move paired with a tense jaw or narrowed eyes loses its power. The silence must be clean. Emotional neutrality means not taking the comment personally. Not every disrespect is an attack. Sometimes it's a projection, insecurity, or ignorance. Silence helps you observe without absorbing. In practical terms, here's how the silent move works. When someone disrespects you, breathe in through your nose, keep your posture open, and say nothing. Not a sigh, not a scoff, not a sarcastic smile. Just presence. Let the space expand. Let the discomfort settle on their side of the table, not yours. You will notice something remarkable. Disrespectful people don't know what to do with a calm person. They rely on emotional chaos. When you remove it, their strategy collapses. The game ends because you refuse to play. And in that refusal is your power. You're no longer defending your worth. You're stating it with silence. You're no longer fighting for respect. You're demanding it by not engaging. You're no longer chasing validation. You're choosing dignity. This is the quiet authority the modern world has forgotten. Not everything deserves a response. Not every comment deserves energy. Not every insult deserves your voice. Sometimes the strongest thing you can say is nothing at all. Silent move. 3. No explanation. End the justification loop. One of the most draining things you can do when someone disrespects you is explain yourself. It feels natural. We want to be understood, to be seen fairly, to correct the record. But the hard truth is this. The people who disrespect you aren't looking for clarity. They aren't asking to understand you. They're looking for leverage. Every explanation you give becomes another tool for them to question, twist, and weaponize against you. That's why the 3rd silent move is simple and powerful. Stop explaining yourself. Stop justifying your decisions. Stop defending your choices. Stop giving people a window into your vulnerabilities when they have already shown you they don't respect them. When you explain yourself repeatedly, you send a subtle message. You're allowed to judge me. You're allowed to decide whether my choice is valid. I need your approval. And once they sense that, the power dynamic shifts against you. They push more. They question more. They demand details they have no right to. They ask why you did this, why you didn't do that, why you think this way, why you set that boundary. Each time you answer, you reinforce the idea that they're entitled to explanations. Stoicism teaches the opposite, that your intentions, your principles, and your values do not require the permission of others. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you know the right thing, do it. The rest is noise." To a Stoic, explanation isn't always clarity. It's often entanglement. It's the moment you leave your center and rush into someone else's emotional battlefield. Think about a moment when you made a personal decision. Maybe you declined a gathering, quit a job, set a boundary, or said no to something that didn't feel right. Someone challenged you, asked why, and you felt obligated to defend yourself. But ask yourself, what happened after you explained? Did they respect it, or did they use your explanation to argue further? People who respect you accept your boundaries. People who don't respect you demand explanations. That's why silence is your shield. Imagine someone tells you, "Why didn't you come? Everyone else did." Instead of explaining your schedule, your stress, your reasons, you simply reply, "I had other plans," and stop there. The silence after that sentence is intentional. It says, "My decisions are not up for negotiation." Or imagine you set a limit at work. "I'm unavailable after 6 p.m. A co-worker challenges you, "Why? Don't you care about the team?" Instead of trying to justify your personal time, family, rest, or health, you simply say, "That's my boundary." No argument, no excuses, no justification loop. People get confused when you don't explain yourself. They're so used to emotional negotiating that your clarity feels like power. And it is power. The power of a person who knows their worth and doesn't need to present a PowerPoint every time they make a decision. Relationships work the same way. If someone says, "Why are you upset?" and they already know what they did, explaining yourself only makes you repeat the pain. Sometimes the most powerful answer is silence. A silence that says, "If you don't see it, that's part of the problem." This doesn't mean shutting down communication. It means refusing to explain yourself to someone who isn't listening with respect. Silence is not a wall, it's a filter. To master this silent move, you need two things: conviction and brevity. Conviction means believing your decisions are valid because you made them with intention. Brevity means keeping your responses short, firm, and calm. Here are 3 powerful phrases that carry Stoic authority without inviting debate. Because it's my choice. Direct, final, unapologetic. That's what works for me. Neutral, strong, not defensive. I'm not discussing that. A boundary stated without aggression. Each of these phrases ends the justification loop instantly. And the silence that follows is where your real strength lives. When you stop explaining yourself, something shifts inside you. You stop seeking permission. You stop depending on approval. You stop giving control to people who have not earned that privilege. Instead, you start living from your center, calm, grounded, and free. And here's the most surprising part. Over time, people begin treating you differently. They stop questioning your choices. They stop pushing your limits. They stop assuming you'll over-explain just to keep the peace. They start respecting the space you hold. Why? Because your silence teaches them what your explanations never could. That your life is yours to lead, your choices are yours to make, and your boundaries are yours to enforce. No justification needed. Silent move. 4. Controlled distance. Withdraw your access quietly. There is a kind of silence that doesn't happen in a single moment. It happens over days, weeks, sometimes months. It's not a stare, not a pause, not a refusal to respond. It is distance, quiet, controlled, intentional distance. The kind of distance that doesn't punish, doesn't rage, doesn't announce itself. It simply removes the access people once had to you. This is one of the most powerful silent moves you can make because disrespect can only thrive where access is unlimited. The more someone can reach you, interrupt you, drain you, question you, mock you, or use you, the more they will. Distance is the invisible boundary that even the boldest disrespecter cannot cross without permission. People think boundaries are lines you speak out loud. Don't say that. Don't do that. Don't treat me this way. But the truth is, the strongest boundaries are not spoken. They are lived, not shouted, just enforced. And the quietest way to enforce a boundary is to reduce access. Think of someone in your life who repeatedly acted like your time wasn't valuable. Someone who only reached out when they needed something. Someone who dismissed your feelings, mocked your ideas, or treated your presence like an afterthought. Every time you tried to correct the behavior, explain your frustration, or communicate your needs, nothing changed. They took your explanations as negotiation. They took your patience as weakness. They took your forgiveness as permission. But the moment you create distance, real, consistent distance, the dynamic changes instantly. Distance forces recognition. Distance forces accountability. Distance forces respect. Not because you demanded it, but because you withdrew the privilege of being close to you. Imagine a friend who constantly makes subtle jabs at your achievements. You laugh it off, address it politely, try to clarify your feelings. Nothing works. But then you start responding slower. Your availability shrinks. You stop offering details about your life. You stop making the effort. You don't announce it. You don't make a speech. You simply adjust your distance quietly and naturally. Suddenly, they feel the shift. They notice the silence. They feel the gap. And for the first time, they must confront something they've avoided for years: the consequences of how they treated you. Or think of a co-worker who constantly dumps last-minute work on you, acting like your time is the community trash bin. You used to fix it, accommodate it, rescue them. But now, you stop stepping in. You keep conversations short. You become professional, not personal. You respond only when necessary. You walk away from their chaos instead of walking into it. That is controlled distance. Stoicism teaches that protecting your peace is not selfish. It is rational. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions." In modern terms, your time, your attention, your energy, they are resources. When you give them endlessly to someone who disrespects you, you undervalue your own worth. Controlled distance teaches people how valuable your presence really was. There are 3 levels of distance you can practice. Physical distance. You reduce in-person interactions. You stop going to the places where drama thrives. You choose environments that support your peace. Emotional distance. You stop reacting emotionally to their comments. You stop taking their behavior personally. You stop absorbing their negativity. Access distance. You stop making yourself easy to reach. You stop responding instantly. You stop explaining yourself. You stop being their emotional cushion. It's not revenge. It's not pettiness. It's clear. And clarity is quiet. When you withdraw access without hostility, you say something powerful. I'm no longer available for the version of me you benefited from while disrespecting me. Controlled distance also exposes the truth about relationships. Some people will react with anger. They were attached to the version of you they could use. Some will react with confusion. They never expected you to walk away from their disrespect. But some will react with reflection. They will realize what they lost and adjust their behavior. Distance reveals who cares and who only cares about your availability. To master this silent move, you must learn the art of not over-explaining your withdrawal. Most people ruin the power of distance by announcing it: "I'm done with you. I'm distancing myself. I need space." Those sentences only give the other person a chance to debate, deny, manipulate, or pull you back in. Stoic distance is clean, quiet, non-negotiable. Here is the truth. You don't need permission to step back. You don't need approval to protect your peace. You don't need validation to prioritize your mental and emotional health. You just need courage to walk away from disrespect, to take back your time, to reclaim your space, to remove access without explaining why. Because at the end of the day, silence isn't just what you say. Sometimes silence is where you stand, and sometimes the most powerful message you can send is where you no longer stand at all. Silent move. 5. Walk away with your head high. The final boundary. There is a moment in every confrontation where the energy shifts, when the conversation stops being productive, when the tone turns disrespectful, when the other person stops listening and starts attacking. That's the moment most people get pulled into arguing, defending, explaining, raising their voice, or trying to win a conversation that's already beneath them. But a Stoic doesn't fight in the mud. A Stoic doesn't wrestle for validation. A Stoic knows the most powerful silent move of all: walking away with calm dignity. Walking away is not retreat. It is not losing. It is not a weakness. It is the strongest declaration of self-respect a person can make. Anyone can yell. Anyone can insult. Anyone can react. But walking away requires emotional discipline. It requires clarity. It requires the courage to choose peace over ego. Most people misunderstand this move because they walk away with anger, with tension, with the urge to slam a door or deliver a final line. That's not Stoic. Stoic walking away is different. It is slow. It is intentional. It is grounded. It sends one message: I will not participate in something that lowers my character. Imagine a situation at work where someone raises their voice at you, they accuse you, demean you, or try to dominate the room. Most people either collapse or escalate. But you stay silent for a beat. You look at them calmly. Then you gather your notes, close your laptop, and say nothing. You stand, your posture tall and open, and you walk out of the room with steady steps. No hurry, no tension, no collapse. The entire room feels it, because presence is louder than shouting, and dignity shakes the ground that aggression stands on. Or imagine you're in a relationship conflict. Your partner is upset, but instead of discussing the issue respectfully, they start attacking your character, your past, or your insecurities. The temptation is to match their energy, to defend yourself, to say, I'm not who you think I am. But defending yourself to someone who has already decided to speak with disrespect is a trap. Stoic mastery is recognizing when the conversation is no longer about truth, but about chaos. So you breathe. You stay calm. You say nothing. You simply get up, walk to the door, and remove yourself from the environment. Not slamming the door, not storming off. Just leaving the arena that no longer deserves your presence. In sports, the champion doesn't argue with the loud audience. The warrior doesn't debate with hecklers outside the battlefield. The king doesn't rush down from the throne just because someone shouted from the street. Leaving is not abandonment. Leaving is a message. Your tone no longer earns access to me. Stoicism teaches that your real power comes from where you place your attention and energy. Walking away is how you refuse to give your energy to negativity. It is how you protect your inner citadel, the place inside you that no insult can penetrate unless you open the gate. And here's the truth many never learn. The moment you walk away, the dynamic flips instantly. The person who disrespected you is left alone with their own echo. They are forced to sit with their behavior without your emotional contribution. Most people don't realize how ugly disrespect looks until there is no one reacting to it. Walking away also dismantles manipulation. Someone who wants to trigger you cannot trigger you if you exit the interaction. Someone who wants to control the narrative cannot do so without your participation. Someone who feeds off your emotional reactions starves when you choose stillness over engagement. To master this silent move, you need to train 3 things. Calm body language, your shoulders relaxed, chin level, no frown, no smirk, no tension. Slow movements. Leaving abruptly looks reactive. Leaving slowly looks powerful. Emotional detachment. You're not leaving to hurt them. You're leaving because your peace matters more. Over time, walking away with your head high becomes a shield. You learn to detect the moment a conversation stops being respectful. You learn to value your time, your energy, your mental clarity. You learn that your silence and your exit are often the strongest arguments you'll ever make. Because when you walk away with dignity, you're saying the one thing that truly commands respect. I don't move for disrespect. I will move away from it. In the end, every silent move you learn today carries one message. Real power doesn't shout. It doesn't argue. It doesn't beg to be understood. It stands steady, calm, and completely in control. The stillness stare, the empty space silence, the refusal to explain yourself, the quiet distance and the dignified walk away, each one is a tool of self-respect, a shield of emotional mastery, and a reminder that your reaction is your greatest weapon. If you want people to treat you differently, start practicing just one of these moves this week. Not aggressively, not dramatically, just calmly and consistently. You'll be surprised how quickly the world adjusts to the version of you that no longer entertains disrespect. Thank you for spending your time here today and for choosing to grow stronger in the Stoic way. If this video brought you clarity, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Stay disciplined, stay grounded, and protect your peace.